Hello, my name is William Wall, and I'm going to read a little excerpt today from this book, Cork Words, an anthology of contemporary Cork writing produced by the public libraries in the city and collected by Patricia Looney. And it's a fantastic collection if you get a chance to have a look at it, with a huge variety of brilliant writers in it. The piece I'm going to read is a short excerpt from the beginning of my novel, Grace's Day, which was published 3 years ago now, I think. One day on our island, my sister Jeannie ran in to say that she had seen a whale in the Sound, and I ran out after her, my mother calling me, "Grace, it's your day, take M." But I was too excited, and there were 3 fin whales making their way into the rising tide. We heard their breathing. It carried perfectly in the still grey air. It was reflected back at us by the low cloud. The sea was still and burnished. We ran along the rocks watching for their breaching. We decided it was a mother, a father and a calf. They were in no hurry. When we reached the beacon, a small unlit concrete marker indicating the western end of the island, we watched them breaching and diving into the distance until we could see them no more. But they left behind their calmness and the unhurried but forceful sound of their blows. We were wearing our summer shorts, and so once the whales were no longer to be seen, I pulled mine off, threw Jeannie my shirt, and plunged in and swam out into the rising tide and allowed myself to be carried along outside everything and back to the anchorage. That was how, so far out, drifting like a seal in the tide, I saw my mother kissing Richard Wood against the gable of our house. It did not come as a shock or a surprise, but I felt a sickening sense of guilt and shame, and I allowed myself to be carried past the anchored yawl and too far out into the Sound, so that it was a struggle and a hard swim to get back. My sisters, Jeannie and Em, watched me sullenly for a long time. I think if I had drowned, they would have watched that too with the same sullen disinterest. When I came ashore, I was exhausted. I threw myself down on the strand and lay staring at the clouds for a long time. My mother was wearing her slacks and a jumper. Her sleeves were rolled back. She had put on weight, and I could clearly see the bulge of her stomach low down, pressed against his belt. His hands were on her back inside the jumper. They could not have been seen from the shore. At that time, my father was already in England. His name was mentioned in newspapers, and from time to time, when he wrote home, usually sending a cheque, he included clippings and reviews. Thank you very much for listening.